Hello there, everybody, and welcome. Welcome, seekers of shadow and light. Tonight, we gather not to just talk about, but to listen, to feel, to cross the veil between worlds is thin, and the whispers have already begun. We are diving deep into the realm of the unseen forces tonight, energies that haunt, protect, test, and transform from chilling encounters to cosmic echoes. Tonight episode is not just a podcast. It's a crossing. So light your candles, open up your senses, and dare to listen. Subscribe and share and comment. And don't forget to hit that notification bell too as well. So, hello, everybody. Like I said, welcome, seekers of shadow of light and the unseen, you know, forces and things behind the paranormal veil and things like that. And is everybody ready for what we have tonight? We got some exciting topics to talk about, but also we're going to talk about practical tools and use, and also happy 1010 portal too. So, welcome, Todd. Welcome,
Hey.
Curbside Tramp. How are you tonight?
Hi. Hope you all doing well. I'm doing great. I'm excited about this podcast. I don't even call it a podcast. It's the show, man. I'm ready. Let's go. I'm ready to do it.
You ready? Okay. Well, awesome. So I want to talk about the 1010 energies too as well tonight, So basically, I want to talk about how the veil has thinned, right? And it really is that time of the season when there's more spirits activities too as well. Like, they use the energies with flicking on the lights and things, and how you can literally feel like the hairs on your body will stand up and things. That's energy. You're feeling some type of presence. So yes, what do you think about that, Todd?
You're talking about feeling the presence, the energy. For me, every year, as soon as October hits, I start feeling it triple time. I always feel energy, but this is the time of year when it's just so active. I don't know what to say. I'm used to it, but for the people out there that are not used to it, let us guide you through a little bit. Let us give you some tips on how to deal with it. That's what I'm thinking. What do you think, Raven?
Absolutely, because the 1020 portal, right? It's all about new beginnings and going back to 0 point and things like that. But it's a threshold of an acceleration of your heightened intuition, and it's actually dimensional openings too as well. Yes, right. Very much so, right? And also too, as the portal opens wider, we stand at a doorway between the unseen and the seen realms. So, what we do with that energy really does matter, very much so. So, also too, we could also feel enhanced psychic sensitivity. Would you like to talk about your psychic sensitivities and things like that, Todd, and how it affects you and how you tap into that?
Sure. I don't know where to start. My psychic sensitivities. You mean like when you know what someone's thinking before you get there? Them kind of things?
Yeah.
Through my life, as my abilities got stronger, I loved using it to deal with people. For instance, when you have a job and your boss is kind of, one of those kind of bosses, I would know before I got to work on this particular one I worked for, if he was going to be a nasty that day. He was kind of like that all the time. So I used it. I would sense it before I even went to work. And I actually, honestly, before I quit that job, I actually called out sick because it was so spot on. I couldn't deal with him anymore. So that, and you walk into a room, people call it a vibe.
Mm-hmm.
Is it really a vibe? You can feel the energy, right?
Right.
You walk into a room and they were talking about you 3 seconds before they realized you were there. That kind of thing. I'm not talking about being paranoid, because some people are just paranoid, but I don't know. I never talked about this topic before, so this is going to be interesting.
Right? It's about opening up, and it's about like people out there that are curious to dive into these realms and have these we have all this innate psychic abilities. Mm-hmm. We all have that, right? It's about tuning in and tapping in, but having and knowing that you have those tools and practicing your discernment and knowing that, hey, You need to have protection. How do you protect yourself? How do you cloak
Right.
yourself? You need to ground yourself, right? And it's just it's a potent time for the messages from the
Yeah.
spiritual realms, and a lot of synchronicities too as well. And it's very important that we claim our sovereignty, and we need to stay grounded. And we need to remind the viewers of that, how
And I'm
we stay
working on
grounded.
that,
Yeah,
Raven. I'm
I
working on that.
know
I try, but sometimes you're just not as grounded as you think you
that
are. And
part.
people that don't know, I do a lot of paranormal research, ghost hunting, and you better be well grounded. For instance, doing that, but just to be grounded to be around others. And Raven has told me before that you need to be grounded, Todd. She can tell. I'm also an empath. I call myself a dark empath. And people have different meanings for that. I don't. It's not a bad thing for me. But for instance, you pick up people's energy,
Yeah.
take it home with you, right? Or you can be you can even, once you get really deep into it, you can be like 100 miles away from somebody and pick up their vibe, their energy. But do you carry it? Because I tend to, and I'm trying not to.
Right.
Also, if you're around loved ones or talking to loved ones and they're not feeling well, and all of a sudden you're not feeling well, I'm super guilty for that. And to be honest with you, I actually told my doctor that yesterday, and I was surprised. My doctor told me you need to be more grounded, and I didn't expect that to come from a doctor.
Right. Right. That's
But yeah,
awesome,
no,
because
you got.
they're more awakened to that. That's awesome. I love to hear that.
And what I
Yeah.
did yesterday, I knew everyone was right, including Raven. Is I took a walk. I'm in Arizona in Black Canyon City, and there's a bunch of riverbeds. I took a walk down the riverbed because there's flood warnings this this weekend. So I went down while it was still dry to take pictures so I could do a before and after. But I was down there, I realized this is great. I was picking up rocks and touching Mother Earth, playing in the dirt a little bit, and I left feeling great. So yeah, if that's what you got to do to ground, people say hug a tree, do whatever works for you. Take your shoes off, stick it in the grass.
Hmm.
But I can't emphasize enough. I mean, I just went off left when that went on you because it meant a lot to me yesterday. It really did. So
You connected with nature and the
yeah,
spirits, and you
no,
listened and tuned in.
and let me tell you, not just that. The the Hawks came and visited me yesterday, and I have a
Hmm.
neighbor, and I always tell him, watch me. I've been trying to make friends with the Ravens and the Hawks and everything, and I think it's funny when people think when they laugh at you, basically. And it's my good friend. He'll probably see this. So, but yeah, no, he'd be a good witness on that because I say, look up, and look up, and there'll be a hawk circling me. And
Hmm.
I'm getting in tie, but yeah, I can't express the grounding thing enough.
Right.
Sorry.
The grounding, and it centers you. You have to be centered, and it's called, you got to, and you also have to practice your own discernment. That's very,
Mm-hmm.
very vital. When you're a paranormal investigating in the veil, right? It's the portal energies, how they can amplify paranormal activity, how the liminal spaces, their dusk and the crossroads and the old sites act as natural amplifiers. We are amplifiers too as
Mm-hmm.
well. Right? It's all energy, and it's like electricity, and it runs through you.
Right.
So, what devices do you use? What sites would you go to? What energies, the history that you feel like? Talk about the stagecoach. We haven't brought up the
But no,
stagecoach.
let's back up a little bit. First off, everyone does have, as you say, gifts. Just not everyone opens up to it and uses them. But let's go back a little farther than just like going ghost hunting.
Mm-hmm.
So, to anyone out there I'm talking to, and you think you have gifts or you have gifts, when did you know? When did you realize? When did you realize? Think about it. What happened in your life that triggered the switch to flip in your brain to open up to what your gifts are or will be? For me, I drowned, not a little bit. I was a little kid. I drowned, and I know that was a major twitch for me. But really, I want you to go into the comments and tell me. Let's talk in comments. Tell me. Everybody's
Right.
out there watching that you want to
Yeah.
request, so all right, Raven, come on now, let's see. So when did you know you had gifts? You tell me.
Okay.
Let's get this going.
Right. When did I know? Okay, listen. I knew as a very small child. Like I knew that I could see and I could hear intergalactic beings and my guardians and things like that. And like I could see them as clear as day, like I'd be talking to you now. And also spirits from the other side would
Right.
be my crossed over loved ones would be guiding me and talking to me. I was very open as a child, but as far as talking about it or speaking about it, I had a lot of this pent up energy and like I needed to get it out. And it's like, okay, but when you're in, religion, Seventh Day Adventist, I was with my great grandparents. And, in that time, we didn't discuss things like that. Right. But I have a very, it's very, very, very strong on both of my sides of my family, my father's side and my mother's side. So it's me tapping into my great grandmother and things that I intuitively knew from my other elders and things like that, and plus my guides, and just trusting in my intuition, and also really tapping into it. And the more that I tapped into it, the more that I become more of awakening and like what is really going on here. And it's about feeling my way through it. Of course, there's so many skeptical. Of course, you're going to be skeptical. That's part of it. But this is an earthly realm, but it's a spiritual, natural realm. This is an electric realm. Okay, we are antennas. That's what Neo was, a battery. We are antennas. So we're going to pick up all of these things. It's a 3D realm. We got upper, middle, and lower realms here. This is a galactic international highway sub here with Mother Gaia. We are on the mothership here. Okay. So it's not just like when we are talking with spirits and beyond the veil and things like that. It, like I said, we have to practice our own discernment. This isn't stuff that we just are going to be diving into lightly. And I want people or the viewers to know that it's something that you really need to do your research on, and it can be fun, but it's also very, very freaking dangerous. And there is beings out there that you can call in that you bring in that's not so good. So you got to trust your discernment. Like I said, you got to use your best spiritual compass. Right. And you're going to encounter, like, not every energy is going to be encountered what it seems. Those type of things.
Right.
And some energies mirror emotions, and they can amplify what's already being present too as well. So it's just, you really got to practice your own discernment, and you need to cleanse. You need to, Palo Santo, like you got the Palo Santo out. It's just very, very vital, because also too, energies, imprints get stuck on things that you buy, like secondhand stores. If you go to Goodwill and things like that. I've had a friend of mine, a very good friend of mine, that bought a gentleman's blazer jacket, and his energy was stuck to that. And she had to smudge and clear her house, and things like that, because she had a psychic and he was doing some things, and that's what it was. And she's like, I won't do that again, because I don't want to bring that into my home. And I get that, but we just got to be very, very acknowledgement, and just literally, like I said, again, practicing that spiritual hygiene. It's just very, very vital to do so, especially when you're diving into the unseen realms. And if they're calling to you, if your soul is gravitating to that, then listen to that, but also practice it and do your investigation. So what started you? How did you know that you're waking up to your psychic ability?
Let me start by saying is right now I'm getting a download right now. And you can tell, because you know me well enough, I'm moving my hands together. Have my body language. What do you want to know? Because when you started talking about your ancestors, someone came forth. So guys, I'm not just a musician. I have gifts. I can channel. Blah, never came forth and told people. I do a lot of things, and I'd like to share it with you, with Raven. And Raven has gave me the courage to step forward. Raven's like my muse. Now you know. She's great. I mean, she's great. So this was not scripted. I got
None of this is. This is raw and real, and it just is what it is, right? If you have any questions out there, my loves, my viewers, right, feel free to type them out in the chat, and we will answer them as well. While Todd is doing that, literally, I am going to pull some cards, and we're going to see what Alice has to say with the Alice in Wonderland Oracle. That's what we're going to do.
Someone out there is wanting to ask a question, and the answer is yes. Type in the comments and let me know what it is. While Raven's pulling some cards, I'm just going to sit here and concentrate a little bit and see what Raven's got going on.
All right, let's see what we got. All right, Spirit, what is the overall energy on this pin? Let's go on the overall energy in this upcoming new moon that we are approaching on. Woo, that's right. What is God saying this house? Okay, we literally have, ooh, this is awesome. It's like, yeah, it's great. It's awesome. You are rare and free. There's not many like you out there, right? Rare. Okay. The gifts that we have, the innate abilities that we have, tapping in, no, you're not going crazy and things like that. This is really who you are. And really, it's okay to be rare. It's okay to be different. That's what makes you you. That's what makes you unique. Step into your threshold. Like Spirit is calling you. What do you want to do? Wake that up. Like whatever it is, like your inner child wants to play. Like where the thing of it is, right? Where did we abandon our inner child? Where is your curiosity leading you? Where's that hunger? Where's that thirst? You know, those type of things. Also, too, with these energies and how things are going, especially with these planetary alignments and things and Pluto and we need to watch our temper. Like we don't need to allow our anger to rule us, right? And I cannot stress this enough. It's a lot of Aries. It's a lot of fire because we just had that Aries full moon too as well, right? We're still under the energies of all that. And also too, we need to manage. We need to manage to be glad, right? We need to create our own happiness regardless of our conditions because we can create our own happiness. And happiness is a state of mind, my loves. It really is. And only you can bring your own happiness. It's not outside of you. It's within us, quite honestly. So what do you got, Todd?
When I was 7 years old, I was really super close to my grandmother. And she told me in advance that she was going to be leaving. She said she's going home. 7-year-old didn't really understand. She had a long conversation with me about that. The following day, I was outside playing. I'm not telling all the details, but I was outside playing, and she came out with my grandfather and my mother to get in the car to take her to the hospital. And she did indeed pass away that day. That night, when she passed away, was my first paranormal experience. And let me tell you what, guys, I know a lot of people out there can relate to this, and it has happened to them also. My grandmother wore it. I don't remember the name of it, and it's, let me date myself. It was Avon, right? Avon, some kind of Avon ladies perfume.
Yeah.
So I smelled it, and in my bed, I felt her sit down on my bed next to me, and then I felt her run her fingers through my hair.
Wow.
Seriously. Very comforting. And the next morning, I didn't know how, I was a 7-year-old kid, and I just tell my mom, somebody touched me. I think it was Grandma. She didn't tell me my grandmother passed away yet. I didn't know. I had no idea. They didn't tell me that day. They just let it be for the night. So the next morning, I heard my mother not scream, not scary scream, but like really let out a like, you know, what the hell, right? Type attitude, type. I don't know, maybe not like that, but she screamed in the other room. And before that, the phone rang.
Mm-hmm.
It was my grandmother, but she had already passed away. My mom told me that story again recently, actually. I'll never forget it. But the phone rang. She picked it up, and the sound was like dead air. Not like you pick a phone up, the normal sound you used to get on a regular phone. You know, remember those guys' phones on the wall? But she picked the phone up, and she said that all she heard was like sounded far away. A voice say, and she said, "It was my grandmother's. I just wanted to say goodbye, and I'm okay." And it went blank, nothing, dead. So yeah, that was my first experience of paranormal. So I'd share that because it's pretty heavy.
It is pretty heavy, and that's what got you to go into what led you into more
It opened my eyes a
curiosity,
little
right?
bit,
Right,
eyes a little bit, but it wasn't until I was a teenager that I revisited any of that. Because
right.
to me, that was just my grandmother. Well, I didn't even think of it as a ghost. But
No.
what really got me into it, and this is where you guys, we just talked about grounding. Holy crap, Olva. I got mixed up with some people that were into some ugly stuff when I was in high school, mid early school years. One guy's mother was a witch, practiced all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I'd hang out at his house and be interested. And another friend's father was not good. He was a straight up warlock. So I played with things that you shouldn't be playing with. I'm not looking for well with me, but I didn't have such a great childhood. So didn't really care if I messed with things that were ugly because I was a little revengeful back then. Yeah, if people think that's a joke, if you're in messing with dark arts and you go towards
Mm-hmm.
somebody that's not grounded whatsoever
Mm-hmm.
and don't have no white light around you, you don't talk to your ancestors, you don't talk to your guides and any, you know, whatever you want to call them. But if you're just out there thinking you can play games, I promise you, there's people in dark arts that could end your life, and you don't even know it's coming.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen it. So, do I practice dark arts? No, I don't. But I was around people that I didn't know any better. You
Right.
know,
You know,
so
when you're a child, we're naive and that stuff looks, and it does. It's like it looks
fun.
intriguing and it's not. Raven does not do that as
Yeah.
well. I'm very tapped into the, angelic realm, source, God,
Mm-hmm.
creator, universe, period. And I do
And
not give consent. That's another thing. We do have free will. We're free will
right,
and sovereign, right? So it's very
right,
vital. But
right.
waking that up as children, and it looks so enticing and things like
Mm-hmm.
that. And you really, like you just brought up about grounding and shielding techniques, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, like I said, we got to explain how it is essential before. It's essential before
Right.
you do any type of any of that. It's
Mm-hmm.
essential that you do it during, and it's also essential that you after investigations or channeling.
Right.
Period.
And don't take it home with
Period.
you.
It just
They'd be
is.
glad to come home.
Yes, it just is,
What
and
what
it's
what else would you like to know? Because now that I'm in that state of mind and remembering things, I can tell you a lot. I mean,
just whatever you feel like the
first
audience would
of
like to
first of
share.
first of all, I think they'll enjoy this. If you like some creepy stuff, let me get you some creepy stuff right now. First of all, to you guys out there, women out there that drink alcohol, vodka, whiskey, there's a reason it's called spirits. You want to go down the rabbit hole? Get drunk and play that game. Drink alcohol and play that game and see how fast you're not completely attached with demonic entities.
That part.
I've seen it. Don't live it because I've never been a drunk, thank God. But I've seen it. And that's not even where I'm going with that exactly. But back up. Okay, so I'm in high school. My friend's mother, that was a witch, never came home. So we used to go to his house and play quarters. He'd always have somebody come over, and it always led to playing quarters with beer or whatever. I don't know. We drank whatever we get our hands on. We were kids. So we were playing quarters, and I got a hold of some of his mother's books. Then I started thinking, what if I mix this with this? Then I started talking with my friend, and he was intrigued. Let's try. Okay, so I'm going to go around the corner on this story a little bit to give you an idea. If you think mental telepathy is bullcrap, good for you. It's not. One of the things I mastered as a kid is we used to go up to the corner store. It was a 7-Eleven. I lived on a peninsula, nowhere around. We were bored. And we'd sit there for hours. And the goal was to see if we can turn the streetlights out with our mind. Probably several months we did this because we had nothing to do. Within the 4th or 5th week, I could dim the streetlight. And we got all excited. And yeah. We were teenagers back in the 80s. We went and got a little bit of marijuana. That's what we were doing, sitting in the 7-Eleven parking lot. And then one night, I'll never forget it, we were both concentrating on this light, a street light, and it popped. And you see the sparks from the filament fall to the ground. And that was fun. That's the kind of stuff we did for fun. We were messing with stuff you shouldn't.
Right. Well, that's like telekinesis. You're tapping into your telekinesis and things like that, right? And that shows like in the Matrix where she is the oracle and she's telling him that there's not a spoon. There's no spoon. It's all in your mind. Bend it with your will, right? And that was mental. That was their energy, bending it back. Bending what? Reality. That's what that was meaning. You're bending reality, bending time.
That way. Never thought about it.
Yes, that's what she was saying. Yes.
And honestly, I never watched The Matrix, so that's new. No, so that happened. We used to play do stuff like that. But see, I had to tell you that because I started digging in. That's cool. I'm a teenager. That's cool. Yeah. What else can we do? And then started wishing people that used to bully me ill will. And that's when I found myself really going down the rabbit hole in the dark stuff. And guys, I'm biting my lip because there's a name. That's when I met my unwanted friend. And he used to watch through the window from the 2 stories outside. If you understand what I'm saying, it was demonic. And he followed me everywhere. And I used to go to my friend's house. And then there's more and more. It just got worse from there. My mother and my aunt, which is no longer alive, played with the Ouija board. I haven't even got to that part yet. I'm already messing with witchcraft and don't even know what I'm doing.
Right.
So my mother plays with the Ouija board. I'm watching them. I'm seeing things in my house paranormal start appearing. So I'm like, that's cool. I'm going to get me one of those. So I started playing with one too. So along with what I've already dug up, the Ouija board came in. And if anybody knows anything about the Ouija board, you don't play with it by yourself. Because all you're doing is setting yourself up for a possession, basically. I'm just going on and on and on. I hope I'm making some kind of point here. It's like this.
Right. Keep up. And also too, listen, it's also about quick guiding. Like you need to have your your breath and down to connecting with earth when you are going through it, right? And you need to have your white light. You need to visualize mirrored spheres in your visualization, those type of things, sigils, amulets, crystals. It's very, very vital to have you a piece of obsidian, some black obsidian, but also too some labradorite, some black tourmaline too as well. And also too, that is your strongest truth, and also to your strongest intention too as well. Your breath, that is your strongest shield, my loves. That is so very vital, 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 vital. Also ground before stepping into any haunted site. Todd, that is very, very vital. You need to be stressing those type of things, right? How you've had scratches, you've had, not so good entities and things like that. We're not really going to tap into too much of that, those type of things. We can, but we're just going to skim it. Also, too, it could be fun, it could be exhilarating, and it could be it just can be fun. So, but we're just saying these tools to practice these tools, to be aware of this when you do want to go out and be an investigator, no matter how old you are. If you are a seeker of the shadow and light, how to balance those things. It's just very vital for those things. It's very mystical and it's very, very, intriguing because we are magical. We're human, multi-dimensional beings having a human experience here, right? So it's just very, very vital that shielding isn't fear. It's an energetic hygiene. And it's very, very vital. And I know I keep saying it, but it's true.
Imagine if I knew how to ground and protect myself back then.
Right.
The point is, don't do. I mean, people are doing it all the time. And my point was, I was going deeper and deeper and deeper. That thing, the enemy, he knew what he's doing. The enemy's smart. Guys, ground yourself and keep it away from you. After the Ouija board thing, it got worse, but then it got better. Okay, but it got worse. Another time, I done dragged too much of that in, but it got really worse, and I am extremely excited to say, can't touch me. Tried, can't touch me. And Raven, I think if someone out there really needs help with learning how to protect yourself and ground, and hit Raven up in her links in her bio. Set up an appointment with her, because she can really get you where you need to be. She helps me all the time.
Thank you for that.
Yeah, absolutely. Hit her up in their bio and all. And I don't want to be sitting there making you guys feel like you're going darker, darker, darker. I was only doing that to make you realize, just because you're down, you ain't got to stay there. And I just want to. It's all real, man. You go into. I've been in a haunted house, and I've got slapped when it drew blood across my three scratches. Is not a nice thing. It's a demonic. It's making fun of the holy whatever. You know what I mean? But but just protect yourself. If you want to go ghost hunting, ground yourself really well. Hit up Raven or I. We can walk you through it. This like I said, this wasn't scripted, so it's just dumping out at me. So
right. Absolutely. But also too, it's also using your tools like sound cleansing, bells, your singing bowls. I do that constantly all the time. Okay. Also too, it's about using your salt and the earth as your grounding anchors, my loves. It's also using smoke cleansing and your intention settings and journaling, and do that post investigation and integration too. Right. It's about things like that. It's about tools. Discernment, tools of alchemy, those type of things. Also too, if you'd like to book a session, yes, Raven, I'm here for that, for those type of things, right? Really diving into your shadow and your light side and balancing that and anchoring it down to the center. Yes, I am available for those type of sessions. I do those sessions. I have practiced these type of tools for me as being an intuitive empath, right? And an empowerment coach too, as well. And you have to practice those discernments. I have to be grounded. I have to be one-on-one with my clients and assist them to whatever they are going through at this time. And they need me for that. But yes, it's just very vital. It's about practicing spiritual discernment. I know I keep saying that. And it's about how to use the tools of alchemy to do so. So I'm also going to pull anything else you'd like to share before we were going to wrap this up. Okay. And I'm going to pull some
Yeah.
tarot just to see what the surrounding
While you're
energy
getting ready for
is.
that, I'm going to tell them, if you go into a place you feel like you want to do a little ghost experimenting, little hunting, if you walk into a place and you just feel like you shouldn't be there, but you don't push yourself to stay, just leave. That's your intuition telling you it's not a good idea. Just back out. Don't ever be too proud. Like somebody say you're scared, just stay away from things. If you don't feel good, if your intuition's ugly, you don't do that. Stay away from it. I went yesterday down to a place, which I'll talk about later because I haven't done it yet. But if you want to go ghost hunting somewhere unknown, go check it out in the daylight. Go there prior to actually doing your investigation. Check it out for safety reasons. Make sure, because the humans are more scary than the ghosts most of the times. So make sure you're safe.
Okay. Also, too, what kind of equipment would you use? If you're going to tell them, they're going to start out at the basics.
Well,
tell them what kind of equipment are they going to be with. Should they start out to use?
I like old school because you know what? The technology is great, but you don't have to have money. So just for instance, I have something that most people wouldn't even think of it. You can use a tambourine for a paranormal tool because they can manipulate, right? They can make these moves. Set a tambourine somewhere and say, can you make the tambourine jingle? Flashlights, you see on ghost hunting, they have the flashlights. They unscrew them just a little bit where they almost, if you touch them, they light up. Get some flashlights, lay them around. The bells for like when you go into a hotel room and you ding them. You get one of those for $3, $6, something like that. Actually, they're discovering that entities can ring them pretty easily.
Cat bells, cat balls. The cat balls, yeah. You can get the cat balls. Apps on your devices you can do. Ghost tube. What's the other two as well?
Well, the Nectrophonic, I was just referring to what's free. They're not free. Ghost tube is updated. I have a really old version. It does work. It just depends on the energy. Nectrophonics like chatters a lot. Sometimes it's on key. Like the other night, it was on key. Other nights, it's just a bunch of chatter. So ghost tube's always really quiet. And we have hunted and just about ready to give up with the ghost tube, and all of a sudden, boop, just holding conversations out of nowhere. So yeah, the apps on the tablets, phones. Just you can generate. You can just make anything to it. You can get a wind chime. They do it already. It's not like I thought of it. Just get a wind chime, like just a cheapy dollar store wind chime, hanging it in the house with no windows open and dead air. They'll make a move. You can just be creative. Is what I'm saying. Because not always one device is going to work. Get a bunch of things. The EMF meters are only like $9 on the Amazon. I don't even use my EMF meter a whole lot anymore because the thing behind me, it's got all kind of energy. It doesn't stop. And
right. That does have a lot of energy.
Yeah.
Okay. Also, too, just because there is negative energy and things like that doesn't mean we have to match negative frequency. No. We clear it and we cleanse it, right? And like I said again, alchemy, transmutation, right? We're turning fear or chaos into clarity and empowerment. So as we are tapping into these 1010 portals, right? This is the message, okay? To reclaim your personal power, to sharpen your spiritual senses without fear, okay? To align with protection, clarity, and trust. The veil is not meant to frighten. It's meant to remind us that we are all multi-dimensional beings, like I said, walking between the realms and walking between worlds, parallel universes and things. We're time travelers here, having a human experience, dream weavers, right? Through the cosmic web. So also, we got this. We got the 8 of Cups here. So the 8 of Cups here. Okay. So literally, we have a lot of emotions. It's probably been very emotional, right? Which it has been lately for the collective of the overall energy. It's about releasing. It's a completion. 1 and 0 is all about completion. Letting go. We have completed a cycle, right? So walking away, yes, we're going to be in touch with our emotions. We've been hurt. We've been betrayed. We've been feeling a lot. A lot of the things are coming up for clarity too as well. Okay. So that's the energy surrounding that. Also, too, we have the Four of Wands here. The Four of Wands here is about building strong structures. See how they're doing the dance right here? You got the Four of Wands. They are walking in a pure alchemy. We're talking about that, right? It's about doing the dance, the life dance here. Four of Wands is all about, it's about new beginnings, building that structure. It's Cancerian energy too as well, can be, because it's the number 4, could be in the 4th house as I'm speaking. And I love this because you got the Four of Wands, and what comes up next to that is literally the Two of Cups. The Two of Cups is all about the number 2 can be the number, angel number 222, right? It's all about interdependence, but also having those collaborations, having that partnership, and having those collaborations. See how that is a perfect union? They have the Two of Cups. It's the yin and the yang, the masculine and the feminine. It has nothing to do with gender because we're all masculine and feminine, are we not? Right? So it's all about that spiritual alchemy, raising that raising your kundalini too as well, but being in perfect union and having that balance, that emotional intelligence of the union of 2, and being balanced with it because it's the number 2. We also have the Four of Pentacles, which is what? Building more structures. It's also about being practical, bringing it into the physical, right? You look, he's in his lab right here. You have the Four of Pentacles being very grounded, being very practical, having the balance, and knowing, hey, I have ideas here, right? And I'm going to be balancing them out. I'm going to take the initiative. I already have it in the spiritual realm. I'm bringing it. I'm going to be practical. I'm making the initiative, and I'm bringing it into the physical. And I love this too, because we also got the Hermit. The Hermit is in reverse. So we have been in hermit mode. Raven has been a little bit in hermit mode. Absolutely. I am listening to my body. I have body check-ins with myself every single day. All the time is what I have to do as far as, clients and things too as well. But as an energy worker, yes, my body says rest, take that reset, recalibrate. You need to. It's very vital. Drink lots and lots of water. Stay grounded. Go sun gazing too as well. Take that walk. Take that trip. Take those drives. It's just very, very important to have that spiritual hygiene, like I said. So is there anything else that you would like to say, Todd, before we wrap this up?
I sure would. If you're going ghost hunting, see if you have the ability to use the rods, because they are very helpful in ghost hunting. Mm-hmm. Also, if you have a pendulum, but I'm just, if you have the ability, learn how to do things correctly with these. But the rods and the pendulum are really, 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 really good for paranormal research.
Exactly.
But what I really have to say is, you have the rods and the pendulum. Please don't touch the Ouija board. I mean it. Please do not touch it. I went with someone that did paranormal research, and they knew how strongly I felt about it, and they snuck it in, and the night ended ugly because all the uglies came in. Please don't do it. That's all I got to say. I hope you enjoyed this. I really did.
Right. Okay. And you know what? Also, too, look up for our next upcoming podcast that we're having about, being an empath and how empaths deal with narcissists and how we can alchemize that, have the spiritual hygiene for that, alchemize that, and use stronger boundaries. And really, not putting up with any of those things anymore, right? And how literally being intuitive and how we are empaths for the empaths, how we are like moths to those type of flames, right? We just draw them in, and they literally are mirror reflections, and it's just a lot of trauma that they have not dealt with, and they're just projecting it out. So we just want to wake that up of our experiences that we've dealt with that with family members, friends, acquaintances, coworkers, and things like that, our experiences too, and how we have alchemized it and how we have had stronger boundaries as well with our spiritual ascension journey. So until next time, remember this, my loves, the veil never closes, right? It only awaits. So until next time, listen closely And bye-bye for now, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.